Welcome back into Eye on Agriculture. I'm Brityne Rucker. In early May, a dust storm resulted in a major traffic accident on an interstate in rural Illinois. State Patrol said the cause of the crash was due to excessive winds blowing dirt from a field across the highway, impacting visibility. Now, many are wondering if farmers might be held liable. We're joined now with Roger McEowen, professor of agricultural law and taxation at Washburn University. Roger, welcome back to the program.
Thank you, Brityne.
All right, Roger, can you give us a recap of this situation?
Yeah, it's actually just as you stated it. We had dirt caught by high winds that blew across the fields and then across an interstate in southern Illinois and rural Illinois. It created a major visibility problem for motorists. And then you had a chain reaction pileup of close to, I think, 90 vehicles. And you know, this is sometimes an issue in the spring and the fall during planting and harvesting seasons where there's relatively more exposed soil that is susceptible to drift.
All right, are there any state soil erosion regulations that might play a role in the matter?
Yeah, that's a good question. And it is possible because dating back to the Dust Bowl of the 1930s, there were numerous states in the Midwest and in the plains that created soil erosion statutes. Kansas is one of those statutes, and the federal government also did at the same time too. And then the conservation cross compliance provisions came in with the 1985 Farm Bill. So if you're a farmer in the farm program, you have to have an approved soil conservation program for your farm. So you have to be farming consistent with that.
And Roger, it can't go unnoted. Obviously, we're in Kansas. It's dry, it's windy, we burn. This can be a problem here at home.
Yeah, you throw in the blowing dirt issue and the soil erosion issue in Kansas to smoke from pasture burning in the Flint Hills in the springtime. It's the same issue. Is there liability for this? What are the rules? And there are a set of rules, administrative rules that KWCH has for pasture burning. There's also a soil erosion statute in Kansas, but that's separate from the liability issue.
So can farmers be held liable?
Generally, the answer is no, and I want to make sure farmers understand that. Not for damage or death sustained by motorists because of blowing dirt or because of smoke that blows across a highway, but there could be monetary fines for violating a soil erosion statute, violating the KDHE regulations when it comes to pasture burning, for being out of compliance with those rules. So there could be fines or penalties, generally no liability for wrongful death or damage as a result of accidents caused by lack of visibility.
Roger, what's your big takeaway from this situation?
Well, it's always good to use best farming practices. We call that good husbandry practices, always. And it's always important to follow the rules that are in place when you're conducting a pasture burn if you're in the Flint Hills. That's going to help minimize this type of situation. So always use common sense, but you can't control the weather. And so that largely removes the liability issue. But again, I can't emphasize enough to make sure you're aware of what applicable rules are and stay in compliance with those.
For sure, Roger, as always. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Everyone stick around to Eye on Ag. We'll be back after the break.